Yo, what's up, everybody? How are you doing tonight, this evening, today, wherever you are? I know it is what it is. I just don't know what that is. It may be daylight, maybe noon, maybe nighttime, maybe whatever. But I have returned with another story that I told you that I was going to put out for you guys. All right. See you. Okay. Tonight's story is going to be about a young man named Gregory Keith Mann. It's a young 20-year-old young man, and he disappeared just like all of the rest. And I got the story right here, folks, so don't you worry. I will read it to you or talk about what I already know. I do know that Gregory Keith Mann he'd been missing since May 10th, 1997 from Wichita Falls, Texas. Same area as the little young Andy Sims that I mentioned earlier. Now this story here, first I want to get this straight. This story here was sent to me by one of my viewers. His name is Nick 1980. Ooh, wait, make sure I get that right. I don't want to say it wrong. Nick 1982. Another viewer of mine who loves my channel, and he's giving me all this information in some of these areas. So once again, Nick Nick 1982. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much, and I will make sure that you get your credit when I get this information, because I don't want to just be known as the only person that's doing this. I want to be a part of a team. Okay, and I talked about this before, that we can all help each other out, to get the word out by gathering info that is from your area. Maybe you live clear across the world. Maybe you live right next door to me. But at the same time, if there's a story in your area that I haven't heard about and it matches the characteristics and criteria of what I talk about, then send it to me, and I will definitely make sure it gets out there, because that's what my channel is all about: finding the truth and getting information out there that they're trying to keep secret. And the big question is, why? And, well, that's the main question. Like I said, why? But anyway, on to the story. Now, the classification of his situation is rendered as endangered missing. So it could, by him being a young man, he may have been abducted. He may have been taken in some form or fashion by what means we don't know, but it could be any reason or anything or anyone, but we just don't know, and that's the part that scares me the most. Now, he was or is 20 years old. His height and weight is 5'6", 140 to 160 pounds. Distinguishing characteristics would be Caucasian male, light brown hair, blue eyes. Man has a small chicken pox scar on his nose and a scar on his left earlobe. He may be known by his middle name, Keith. Now, the clothing he was wearing at the time, and jewelry that he was also wearing, he had on a long sleeve ivory colored pullover or buttoned up shirt, blue jeans, laced brown shoes made from a suede like material, and a beige baseball cap. Now, the details of his disappearance is where it gets weird, and for the fact that he disappeared and was never found, it makes it even more weirder. The how is pretty much the how and the why is pretty much the main question with his disappearance. Now, a man was employed at Ron Roberts Ford in Wichita Falls, Texas in 1997. He reported for work on May 10th, 1997, and sold 2 vehicles. Man had plans to deliver one of the cars after the upcoming weekend. Now, the dealership allowed salespersons to borrow demonstration automobiles after business hours. Mann selected a red 1996 Ford Mustang and requested a gasoline voucher, gasoline voucher. He had, as he did not have any cash at the time. It is believed that Mann filled the car tank after leaving work that evening. Now, Mann also returned to his residence in Fountain Gate Apartments on Barnett Road, where he had lived since April of 1997. He spoke to his fiancée and on the telephone during the evening, and they planned to meet the following day. Mann and two of his friends stopped at a Finna gas station on McNeil Avenue and Kell Boulevard shortly thereafter. The business security camera videotape shows it shows the inside of the store around 10 p.m. They visited McDonald's. They visited the McDonald's restaurant before going mudding in one of the friends' vehicles. Now, Mann mentioned that he needed to return home while they cleaned the automobile at the local car wash. He said that he was meeting someone at 12:15 a.m. on May 11th. He did not mention the person's name or the location of their meeting place. His friends saw him walk up the stairs towards his apartment at approximately 11:45 p.m., but they did not see Mann enter the residence. He has never been heard from again. Okay, now here's the part where it gets weird. They literally see him walking up the stairs to his apartment. They never actually saw him go inside the apartment. So maybe that day that I think that the day that they went to this place and they was hanging out, I think that was May 11th, because I think he may have told them that prior to them going to that certain spot, and the day when they were there was actually May 11th. So he walks up the stairs and he was never seen again. So obviously he didn't go into his apartment. He probably went up the stairs, went across towards the back end of the complex, and went down the back stairs. Now, here's the crazy part. If he goes down the back of the stairs, they're still going to see him as he's doing that, right? They're just going to see some guy walking down the stairs and trying to sneak off to the side so they wouldn't see him out in the open. But if they were alert enough to look towards the back when they hear someone walking down the stairs, like, you see someone coming, you just instantly look, you automatically look. That's, like I said, that's a natural reaction. So if you hear someone walking down the back of the stairs, you're going to look just for spite, just to see who it is. Not knowing why, but you just do. And you may see him, you may not see him. You're probably thinking it's somebody else that probably came out of their apartment and then walked down the stairs to go towards the back. There may be a trail they were going to walk on. They're probably going to jog. Okay, here's another crazy part. Now, anyone who is anyone would know. If you're down on the ground level looking up the stairs, but you're not seeing anything beyond that, you would obviously hear the door open up and then close. And then hear someone walking out. Now, to the fact that they didn't hear anything, they didn't hear him go inside his apartment, they didn't hear the door open or close, they didn't hear him walking towards the back of the stairs, walking towards the back stairs and walk down all the way down to the ground floor and go to the left instead of the right. Because if he went to the right, he'd be out in the open, in the breezeway for them to see him. So, with that being a fact, did that actually happen? Did he somehow just walked past his apartment thinking he didn't really need anything and went towards the back to go down the stairs? Or did he vanish as he walked out of sight from his friends going up the stairs? Something happened to him. Something took him. The question is, what took him? We don't know that, but I can give you a theory of what happened. Something on the other end of what we can't see is able to open up wormholes at will. They probably have a machine, or they probably are able to do it with their mind. They see them coming. They make a choice. They open this door up, they walk right into it. But the fact that he said he was going to meet someone, who was that someone? Was it someone that promised him a journey of a lifetime, and you have to be willing to give up seeing your family ever again? Or what? Okay, like I said, they have the ability to do that, but why do they make the choices that they make? Are they random? Are they saying like, okay, we'll wait about 30 years and then we will take somebody? Don't matter who it is, we just gonna take them. Are they saying that it doesn't matter if they have an ailment? It doesn't matter if they're sick or can't walk or can't talk or can't hear? Are they saying these things to make the decisions that they make to take these people? Because everything that we see that happened to these people, as far as what we can gather from the evidence when they're found dead, or the fact that they just disappeared off the face of the earth, the people that are taking them, are they thinking these things? You know, because they obviously think just as well as we do. They think like humans. Now, they may be humans as well, but they think on a different level than we do. They know how we think, or it could be our doubles from another parallel Earth that is connected with our own brain. I'm thinking maybe that's it. Maybe we have doubles, evil doubles of ourselves on a parallel Earth, but their minds are linked to ours. They may be linked to every single person who are us in these different dimensions or different parallel Earths. We are all connected to each other. Our bad thoughts go to them, and their good thoughts go to us. Maybe we transfer thoughts to each other. Maybe they are the bad side of who we are, but in another dimension or on another parallel Earth. And they come here to do the opposite of what we wouldn't do. They take the people. They know how we're gonna think, so they are going to just say, "Okay, we'll get around that, and we'll take them to make it, and we'll make it look like there's no way for them to disappear." Could be that we could be connected to our doubles, our evil doubles in another parallel on another parallel Earth. But this wall right here, this reality that is in front of us and all around us, is blocking us from what is on the other side. It looks like it's nothing, but it's obviously something. Now, if a wormhole opened up right here, right in front of me, I'm either gonna get sucked into it and you see me going like this real fast, or something is gonna come out of it and offer me an offer I can't refuse and tell me that I have to come with him and I can never return, because there is no control of the journey back. Maybe there is, they just don't want to. You know, they don't want them to come back. Same thing with Madison Scott. Maybe they don't want her to come back either, or maybe she just can't come back. Maybe they don't have a way for her to get back home. Maybe they do, and they just know that they don't have to, but they don't want to. Is she going to be able to fight off bad guys to get the device in order to open up the wormhole? Like how you would see, like it was in this Supergirl episode where she had to fight through a bunch of people to get to whatever she needed to get to bring some people back to her Earth. You know, so like I said, everything is connected to something. Everything has an origin point. So the fact that we know about all this stuff that we look at as science fiction and we see it on TV, like on the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever, that idea still came from something. You know, wormholes that that are synonymous with pride when it comes to movies. We see them all the time. We see them in TV shows. Shoot, they had, you know, the TV show Sliders, which is a bit closer to the truth than anything else. And they had the right depiction for that TV show. People who travel through different dimensions. Well, not different dimensions, but different. Well, it is a different dimension. But, you know, but that dimension holds all these different Earths. These parallel Earths that are perpendicular to us, but at the same time, slightly different. You know, it's just weird, you know? So, with that being said, do you think something like that happened to this young man here? I mean, we probably never know, but I can tell you one thing: we already do know that we can come up with some of the weirdest ideas ever. Our theories that go beyond logical thinking can solve what is happening to these people. I've already said it, so I know what I'm telling is the truth. It's all a matter of getting rid of all doubt, getting rid of all skepticism, getting rid of all disbelief, getting rid of everything that keeps you from believing in the things that we look at as fairy tales or straight out lies. Everything that we hear about is the truth. All the things that we look at as not reality. Anything that isn't reality based, we look at it as a fairy tale or something that's not real. But if you think about it, it really is. It's just a matter of you being able to accept what is real. That's why I don't get into the whole religion thing, because you will start an argument that you can't come back from if you do that. If you test the waters of what people believe in. You know, that's why what this channel is for. This channel is for people who believe in what isn't believed in. If you believe in what is never believed in, this will be a better world to live in, because we know the truth. Okay? Obviously, our planet has a secret origin that is being covered up with hundreds of years of lies, decades of lies, and half-truths. They spit out a little truth that's attached to a tiny little lie or fabrication or something they made up. Credible, yet not credible. Credible, yet, you know, you get what I'm saying. But, folks, I really do believe that we have solved the mystery. I really do. Okay, now the fact that man's fiance called his parents during the afternoon and said that she did not believe man slept at his apartment the previous night. All of his personal belongings were apparently inside his residence. Man did not have any cash with him at the time of his disappearance. He left approximately $100 in his savings account and never retrieved his paycheck from work. Man used his fiance's Fina credit card at the gas station with his friends during the evening of his disappearance, but there have not been any unaccounted transactions on her account since that time. Man's fiance planned to move into his apartment in 1997. He did not have any travel plans at the time of his disappearance. He graduated from River High School in 1995 and attended North Central Texas Junior College on a basketball scholarship. Foul play is suspect in man's case. But here's the big question. Who created the foul play? Can you answer that question? Can you answer that question? I could, but could you believe me if I told you? That's the biggest question of all. Will you believe anything that a person says if what he tells you goes way beyond reality? Could you believe it? I mean, you got a young man, your son, the fruit of your loins. He just vanishes off the face of the earth while hanging out with his friends. He says he's going to meet somebody, but he don't tell them who it is. He made plans to meet up with his fiancée in a couple of days. So at first you may think it was her he was going to meet. But if the date didn't match up when they were going to meet, obviously he was going to meet with somebody else. Who was that somebody else? Was it another female? Was he getting cold feet about marrying his fiancée and started having sex with somebody else? It's a possibility. Maybe they ran off together, changed their name, so that way they can stay under the radar and stay hidden from society and from their own family. But, okay, here's the crazy part. Why would he leave his own family? It's one thing to leave your fiance for somebody else, but you're not gonna leave your entire family and forget about them just because you got some good pussy from somebody. Excuse my French, I didn't mean to say that. I don't want to sound chauvinistic. Just because he had a good time with a female that he actually was attracted to. Okay? That doesn't sound credible whatsoever. Not at all. Because you would not leave your family. You can leave your fiance, but you're not going to just leave your family behind. Your uncles, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your mom, your dad. Especially your mom and your dad. Unless you hated everybody in your family, including your parents. Which makes no sense. And of course, that would only be because he was adopted. He was adopted, but he wasn't. I often wonder about that. If you disappear like that, and there's a reason why that people may try to drum up so that they can make some sense out of his disappearance, like, okay, he had a girlfriend, he was going to meet up with her, but he didn't. He told his friends he was meeting up with somebody else other than his fiance. He didn't say who. He didn't say what gender. He just said somebody. He didn't even mention a name. But he goes off and then disappears off the face of the earth. Walking up the stairs, just like in them darn soap operas. You see somebody walking up the stairs, who's about to get written off the show. They walk upstairs and never come down. Perfect example. Judy from Family Matters. This little girl walks up the stairs and never comes down the entire season. Well, there was one, but it wasn't the actual girl that played her. It was another female. She just all of a sudden just popped up, and they made a little joke about it, saying, "Where have you been?" This is what Laura said to her, and she just looked funny, and they just kept on acting with the show because they know that she had to leave the show because her family was having money problems. That she was the breadwinner of the family. So that acting check was really coming in handy to help everybody out because I'm pretty sure they probably lost their job or something like that. Can't remember exactly what the problem was, but they were having financial problems. But the point of the story is, ain't nobody gonna leave the entire family for another female. That doesn't make any sense. You can leave your fiance, your girlfriend, your sex partner for somebody else because they're not connected to you as far as family. You're connected in some kind of way, but you're not connected as a linked family member. Well, I can get into that whole connection thing at another time because I got a real big one for you guys on that. I may even talk about it towards the end. Who knows? But anyway, okay, we go back. We rewind it back. Rewind it back to the part where I started talking about once you get rid of the logical side of what happened to him, what comes after that? The illogical side of what happened to him, the mystery, the hidden part, the part that is the truth but is looked at as something that isn't the truth. All I'm saying is something happened to him, and this something is the one thing that we're probably never going to believe, or the other people. I'm going to believe it, but they're not going to believe it. If he said he was going to meet somebody, maybe there was a person that came through a wormhole, met up with him, and offered him an offer he couldn't refuse. Or what could have happened is maybe he saw something that looked very interesting. And maybe he saw a wormhole. Maybe he saw an opening in the space-time continuum, and he was able to peer through what this thing was and see a reality that he never thought possible. Maybe he saw something and kept seeing it every time he may have went. Let's just say, if he went to a certain area without telling anybody, maybe it was his Zen spot, and he saw something out there that was so intriguing, so mind-blowing. It was pulling him towards it, and he just had to keep going back to see what he saw. Maybe he saw reality that he never thought possible. Maybe he saw his future and he wanted to go there. Maybe something was telling him that if you go there, you won't have to worry about anything. But still, what could make you leave your entire family behind and never come back? Never leave a trace of you even going to this area. You saying you going to meet somebody, but when you walk up the stairs, you disappear. They don't see it happen. They don't see you coming down the back end of the apartment where the stairs are. They don't hear you going into your apartment. They don't hear you coming out. You just disappear the minute you walk up those steps and get out of view of your friends. Now, think about it. That's what they said. They saw him walk up the stairs. And that was the last time they ever saw him. They didn't hear him go in his apartment, or they didn't mention that part. Maybe they did. Maybe he went in his apartment. But he didn't take nothing with him. He didn't take his money. He didn't take his other stuff with him. Well, I think she said his wallet was found in it. All his belongings was in his apartment. So if you're gonna go meet somebody, why are you gonna go there without no gas money? Why are you gonna go there? If you're gonna meet up with a female, you might want to take her out, but you left all your money in your account, $100. What else could it be? Something weird is happening here, folks. Something that we can't explain. Well, I can explain it, but something the rest of the other people that would never believe it, they can't explain it. They look for the most logical reason ever to just even partially explain how he disappeared. But if none of that stuff adds up, you're only doing it to make it sound good to you, so you won't freak out at the fact that your child is gone and is never coming back. When the truth hurts, you got to make up a lie in order to banish that hurt. And that is the so-called logical reasoning or logical thought to cover up what is really the truth. If someone was to tell you, oh, well, your son slipped into a dimensional portal and was transported somewhere else, but he can't return home because we don't have a way to bring him back. If that's the truth, you're probably going to go crazy, or you're going to start punching somebody because you want to make sense of the whole thing, and that doesn't make any sense to you. So you say, look, I know there's a serial killer out here. How come y'all haven't caught him yet? Sir, this wasn't a killing. We can't find him. Serial killers don't do that. They don't make people disappear. I mean, they do. They tell you you're going to sleep with the fishes. But you know what that means? That means they're going to drop you down into the ocean with a block of cement tied to your foot. Okay? That's their way of wiping you off the face of the earth, because they know ain't nobody going to go into that river to search for your body, especially if they don't know that it's even in there. They're going to think after a while and find the body down there or the bones, but they're not going to initially think that. So when you hear something like that, you got to cover it up. You got to create a barrier around it that will show you your truth. The truth that you want to believe, and that's my son was kidnapped, my son was abducted, my son was molested, my son was this, my son was that. None of those make any sense because that's not the truth. It's your truth. That's the only way you can make sense of the whole thing. But the actual truth that is covered up with more lies and more lies and more lies and more lies keeps you from knowing what really happened. Parents don't even want to believe their own child was abducted unless they were being abducted too. Right? Still couldn't get that too out. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm just saying, what is really causing this to happen? I can tell you right now what it is, but it's still not going to bring him back home. That is the biggest part of all of this. You can say whatever you got to say. You can say, even if it is the truth, and you know it's the truth. But he's been missing for God knows how long. 47 years, 50 years, 100 years. You don't know. But out of all of that, even after knowing the truth, he still ain't coming home because he has no way to get back. Theory states that if you have the ability to control the journey, that's one thing. But if a single portal opens up between your earth and that earth, and it creates a doorway between the two, and you travel through it to get to either one, After that, after a while, that sucker's gonna close, and it's just gonna become nothing but space between you and that planet. That whole area is gonna be blocked off from your reality. You ain't gonna be able to see it anyway. It's like shutting a door in someone's face. You see what's on the outside, but once you block the outside with a door, you can't see anything. So it's the same with between that reality, that parallel Earth and our Earth. It is being blocked by a closed door or a wall of some sort. You can swing your arms around to feel whatever it is, but it is a door that cannot be touched. It is a door that can only be thought about. And that's a weird thing to say because it makes no sense to the person who wouldn't understand it. But think about it. If you got a doorway that opens up between two Earths, okay, and you travel through it, you slide through it, that's your way of seeing what the truth is. But once that door closes, it is blocking you from the truth. And that's what the government is doing right now. They're blocking us from the truth. They're blocking us from what is the actual reality of this planet. Like aliens have been coming here since the dawn of time. Heck, there isn't even time. Time is just a construct. It is a made up way for us to get through our day. Okay? If there was no time, yeah, it's gonna still get dark and the sun is gonna come up, but we wouldn't have a reality of what time it is. We wouldn't have a reality of how early it is or how late it is. None of that stuff would even exist. Can you imagine how our lives would be if there wasn't even a such thing as time? I mean, there really isn't a such thing as time. It's just something that a person thought up in order to categorize the days. As far as when the sun rises and falls. That should be our reality right now. Knowing that the sun is going to rise and knowing it's going to fall. Who cares how long the sun is going to be up or how long the sun is going to be down? Why does that even matter? I mean, it helps us get through our day so that we can go home with our families, come home at night, go to sleep, make love to our wives, But this right here, once that doorway opens up, you can feel it. You can go through it. It's physical. But once it's closed, there's nothing here but air. Now, see, in between all this air that we feel is space. Okay? But it's something that we can't see. We can only feel it if we are able to grasp what it really is. What is space? Space is a word. Okay? It may have a meaning, a definition to it, but space is just a word. It's a bunch of letters put together to make a word. It is all connected to something. It is connected to a meaning. That meaning is connected to a reason why it has a meaning. And that reason why it has a meaning is connected to why it needs a meaning. And then that part right there is connected to what it really is. Now, what it really is, there's so many of these things blocking what it really is, we'll never even know. We're not going to know the origin of why this. Okay, why is this a wormhole? Why are we using that word to say it's a wormhole? Why are we putting letters together to form the words to say it's a wormhole? There's a reason for everything. And that reason is that origin, that tiny little point somewhere in our reality where the truth will come out. It will help you understand that everything is connected. And everything came from something. Everything came from an origin point. All we know of our known universe comes from a single point within the center of our universe. And when it exploded and went all out in all directions, then came time. Then came the letters we put together to make up the words that will tell you exactly what this and this and this and this and this and this is. Now, reality in our world alone, what we know of, all that is reacting the same way. Everything that we know is reacting like a Big Bang. Okay? If you think about it, put those words together, make a sentence out of it. The Big Bang went out in all directions to create everything we know and see and hear about. Okay? That means all of this stuff that we see with our own eyes came from a tiny little point. Okay? A tiny little point in space. all that stuff that has been thrown out in all directions. It all comes from what made it happen in the first place. Now, we go through time, and then that's when technology is thought of. And that technology turned into a reason for us to see things from out there. And then that's how we learn about stuff. That's how we end up learning about, the stars and space and all that stuff. But we had to have scientists in order for them to be able to formulate an idea to tell us, so that it can tell us what this is. Everything is connected, people. Everything comes from an origin point. And I hope that explained what I was talking about, but it's probably explained in a much more deeper thought type of way. And that's what I like to do. I like to think deep. I like to get to that, to the grain, to the tiny little point. And see, there it is again. Everything has an origin point. I had to get that idea from something in order for me to make it into what I just told you. But maybe you understand it, maybe you don't. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, I am here to help. I am here to educate. I'm here to make sure that you guys get good information that you can be like, whoa, like that emoji that looks like this, and then you put a little puff of smoke right here to make it like his brain just exploded, from the thought of what I just said, or from what he heard me say, blows your mind, all this. I wanted to blow your mind. I want you to open up. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear why everything is. I want you to hear why this is going on, why that's going on, why are these people disappearing. Can you believe the truth? Can you believe the reality of the truth? Can you believe that is reality? I'm telling you, folks, it's the only way we're going to figure this out. I mean, I've already figured it out. But there's still more about this. Even though I may have figured it out as far as what I can tell you in a theory, there is still a reason why. And that reason why I know about, but even if you know it, in the back of your mind, you still need confirmation. That's why I made that validation video. Because for me, that was validation, not confirmation. Validation is you knowing that other people know that that's what happens to these people. But it gets covered up by a mystery. It gets covered up by what they want you to look at as the truth of why this happened. They want you to believe that it's a serial killer. They want you to believe that it's a pedophile or a murderer. But why would they take the life of someone that can't speak, talk, hear, walk, or it's just plain sick? They may have cancer. They may have Alzheimer's disease. They want you to believe that a person did this. That's the bottom line with these people. They want you to believe that a person did this. They don't want you to believe that some werewolf ate my child whole, or that some gray alien feeds off of human bodies, or a reptilian alien devours the human body, preferably babies and little children, and they obviously know to take the pants off so they can just get at the flesh. Look at Jerry Adadero. His sweatpants were turned inside out, so that means something pulled his sweatpants off. Now, he could have done it, but think about this. If Jared was pulling his sweats off, he would know to remove his shoes first and remove his socks, and then remove his sweatpants. Now, when you remove your sweatpants or your pants or your underwear or your panties, whatever, what happens? When you pull them down, they buckle on top of each other. They don't look like they were turned inside out unless you just pull your feet through the holes and just pull on the leg. That's the only way you can turn them inside out. But if you're sitting, let's just say you're sitting down on a rock. Let's really, really think about this. Let's go deep. That's what I want to do. I want to go deep undercover. Right? Got that from Eddie Murphy. Anyway, you're sitting down on a boulder, or, well, in his case, a big rock, or a log, or the ground, and you're taking your sweatpants off. You're pulling them down to your thighs, pulling them down to your knees, to your legs, to your ankles, to your feet. What happens? There's enough room for you to take your hand on the cuff of the sweatpants leg, and you pull your feet through, and you do the same thing with your other foot. Okay? Does it look inside out to you? No, because you pulled at the leg part, at the edge of the leg where the feet go in, and you pull them off your feet. So there's no way for you to end up with the pants leg inside out, because it would still be buckled on top of the layers of the other parts of the sweatpants. Did you ever think of that? You gotta think logically, but illogically at the same time. You gotta think in 3 dimensions, people. 3 dimensions. You can't think in one direction, because if you think in one direction, you're gonna miss all of that extra information that's coming from all sides of these 3 dimensions. Because all that stuff will tell you a story, which will make you understand how it all happened. Think about it. If he was pulling his sweatpants off, would his sweatpants in fact be inside out? No. I can tell you right now, if I pull my pants down, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna pull my pants through the hole, through the 2 portion of the legs, and I'm gonna pull my pants off. They're not gonna be inside out. They're gonna still be outside in. I mean, they're gonna still be the way they're supposed to be. So I'm just saying, if his sweatpants were pulled off his body, obviously somebody was in front of him, pulling them down and then pulled this way, therefore causing the sweatpants to be pulled before they left his feet, and that would turn them inside out, and then his feet would come out of the loops, out of the sweatpants leg, and voila, they're inside out. And here's another thing: what could have killed him? What could have ate Jerry Adidale? Wasn't an animal that we know of, because there's no known animal on this planet, none that we know about, that can devour the human body the way it did and only leave the top of his cranium and one tooth that was sitting on top of a log underneath some pine straw. Come on, people. You know good well no animal did this. If you really know animals and you study them, some of you may be one of them people. I don't know that. But if you are, think about it. Do you know of one animal, lion, tiger, bear, oh my, any one of them, do you know for a fact that those animals can devour the human body? What gets left behind after they eat the flesh? I mean, all the animals around eat the flesh. Bone, the entire skeleton. What animal do you know will eat an entire skeleton and leave nothing but the top of his cranium? That body was licked clean from the outside in. Took the brain matter, everything. And it just left the top of his cranium out in the wilderness. Furthermore, his shoes were pristine. His clothes weren't scratched up. They didn't have claw marks in them. You think an animal did that? An animal's not going to get at the body and leave the clothes unmarked. They're going to tear into the clothes to get at the meat. And they go for the stomach because they want to eat all the guts and stuff up. I don't want to make that too gory. But anyway, the whole point is, animals that we know of didn't do this. Animals from somewhere else did, like a werewolf or a reptilian alien. Some of you may believe that stuff, some of you may not. I don't know. You may know for a fact that there's some reptilian aliens that reside here on this planet, or come from another dimension that they can get to. Because I said transdimensional beings last time. They have an ability to show themselves when they want to, and that's them showing themselves is them coming through that wormhole to make themselves noticeable to us. If it looks like they're transparent, it's because they're caught between our world and their world, and it causes some sort of energy phase around the body to make it look transparent. Okay? And once it steps into our reality, they become whole again, or solid, as you want to put it. Boy, I just got deep, baby. But it's all true. It's all true. You want to know why? Because I believe. Why do I believe? I say because how do I know that it's real? I just know. If you think about all the things that you experienced throughout your life, seeing a ghost for the first time, seeing a UFO in the sky for the first time, thinking it's a plane but it ain't making no sound, or seeing a ghost and you thinking that maybe you were seeing things or you saw something out the corner of your eye, you saw a shadow person run through the room. That's how I believe. Because once you see all of that stuff, there's got to be something real about all this other stuff, like Bigfoot, the Chupacabra, Dogman, the Mothman, the Jersey Devil, all these folkloric creatures. You know, the skinwalker creatures, all that stuff. If you done seen one part of the paranormal, obviously all that other stuff is real too. I'm just saying. Just, you know, some people say seeing is believing. Well, I think believing is seeing. Because if you believe in something enough, it is going to become a reality to you. Everybody else ain't gonna see it because they're not gonna believe it. They got to train their minds to believe this stuff. And we the only ones that can do that. We don't need stuff to help us do that. We just believe, and it is. It opens up a doorway to where you can view what you already thought as something that's not real. What you thought is something that is paranormal or a fairy tale. Belief is a motherfucker. It can make you believe in some of the things that you never thought possible. And I can tell you, I done been there. I'm still getting there, you know. But I've always been on a journey of spiritual heightenedness. Okay, I've always wanted to elevate myself to a level that most humans probably couldn't get to. That I know is there. Okay, just like Einstein's theory. If we used all of our brain, we wouldn't need our bodies. And that's so true. Because think about it. Every synapses of the brain is connected to every single nerve, every single cell, every single part of our body that makes up how we look. From the bones all the way out to the skin. Okay? The fact that everything is connected, and the fact that if we were to use all of our brain and we still had our bodies, we can do some amazing things. Now we can do some even more amazing things if we just was a bunch of floating brains. We wouldn't need the physical handicap of the human body. We could just, now if you look at the size of my head, that means my brain is going to be pretty small. And imagine this small brain here being able to do everything from here to the sun. Okay, all sorts of things. All you have to do is think it and it happens. Or wave a hand and it happens. But you don't have a hand. You just got this. Okay? That's the thing. You use your appendages. You can do things. You can focus your energy and your thoughts and everything that your brain can do into this one tiny little finger. You can create a life with just that one finger. All you gotta do is just touch the air and a baby just pops out of nowhere. Or it forms from a tiny, tiny little piece of whatever. And you can see the veins forming and the blood appearing and the muscles forming and then the bones, you know, of course you're going to see the bones first probably. It's just the way life works. That's how nature works. Everything starts from a certain point and then it grows into something that can create the bones, and it goes into something that can create the veins that are attached to the bones, and so on and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, what do you have? A tiny little baby that forms into who we are today. Okay, so if we can use our brains that way with our hands, the wonders that we can create, the wonders. But even if we don't have our bodies, we still have our mind. We still have how our mind makes us who we are. We don't need the shell to still be who we are. If I was just a floating brain, I still have everything. I would still have everything that I am, just without how I look. If you took away the body and you just have the brain, I'm still me. Because my brain makes me me. It soaks in the information that helped me become the person that I am today. So if you take away the look of who I am, you're still going to get me. You're just not going to be able to see who I was. You'll see my brain, and you'll know that my brain is who I am. My brain has all of my memories, all of who I am inside of it. But I just don't have this to show you who I am. Because my face shows you who I am, as well as what I say, how I look, how I move my eyes, how I move my body. All this stuff is a representation of what our brains can do for us. But if we use our brain to do, we don't need all this to show you what we can do. We just have the brain to do everything. Just imagine if we were attached to our bodies. By us being attached to our bodies, we're able to see what we're able to do with our brain. We built all this. That's the thing. Our brains helped our body build all of this. The knowledge of knowing how to do that, how to weld this. Well, I'm pointing at my chandelier. All that came from up here. Our brains helped us use our bodies to create all of the things that we see with our eyes. Houses, roads, oceans. Well, not oceans, but rivers. Some of them were man-made way back in the colonial days, and some of them probably was just natural. But the point is, our brains help us do all the things that we do so that we can do this, like what I'm doing right now. If it wasn't for this wouldn't even be happening right now. This wouldn't even be possible. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you people through this little box right here. That came from this here. But imagine being able to do that without all this. The hands, the fingers, the arms, the muscular chest, and the... Anyway, what if we didn't have all that? We could still do all this. That's the thing. That's the part that people don't get. And what Einstein was saying. Just because we have this, it don't mean that we still can't use this to create all of what we see. We just wouldn't need to build it with our hands. We can make it happen. We just think about it and poof, there it is. If the brain is able to do all of these things down to the very last pagoda. Because it comes from thinking. You have to think of how to put down the cement. You got to think about how to put the frame of the house up. You got to think about how to put wooden plates to make the roof and walls and the other stuff to make up the house and the windows. All this stuff can be done with just one thought from one part of our body, and that's this. Now, if we had this, we can build it with our own hands. But if we didn't have all this, what would happen? It would just be created. It will probably be created the same exact way, but it'll just appear. Like morphing into a house from the ground up. Okay? We would actually be able to create the house from nothing. Or create the house without even having to build it with our hands. From the plate of the house, the foundation of the house. Okay, all this stuff can be put together by just thinking about it, without having to use our hands. Because if we get rid of all this, we can do so much more and so much faster. This actually slows us down. This really slows the brain down because we have to think of what we got to do with these hands. We got to think to move it up like this. We got to think to move it up like that. But if we didn't have all this, we didn't have to worry about all this distraction. All of this is a distraction from what this thing can really do. Think about it. I mean, of course, we're stuck with it because it's here. This is what we are. But imagine if we didn't have it. This right here wouldn't be a distraction of what we can do. Okay? And I hate to say it, we are a distraction from ourselves. And I know that sounds a little weird, but think about it. We are a distraction to who we are because of what this does. It all starts from the thought, and the thought trickles down to how we got to move this arm in order to grab that hammer, in order to hammer that nail and put this beam up to make the frame of the house. If we didn't have all this to slow us down, you know how fast those houses can be put up and how well it can be put up? Because when we think about how we got to do this, you got to realize, when we think about putting that nail in, we may put that nail in the wrong spot because of this here, the hands. The hands can cause a lot of things to happen that goes wrong. Like we could be a couple of inches too high or a couple of inches too low, or maybe we're too far over to the edge of the wood to where if we hammer it in it's gonna crack, and therefore it's no good. We got to get another piece of wood and get it right. But if we get rid of all of these distractions, like the body and doubt and all this stuff is a distraction. We use the brain to build the house; it'll get done no problem, without any mistakes. This is what causes the mistake. Us, the body, causes the mistake. But the brain can do it without the body causing the mistake. I know that sounds a little hard to believe, but it is true. When I reach these levels, man, I get to a point where I'm talking so deep now. I still understand it, but I know y'all ain't gonna understand it because I'm on a different level at this point. But I'm getting totally off track here. But the whole point of all of what I'm saying is everything is connected. The reasons why these people are disappearing are being connected to a certain truth that we are being kept from, and we can figure it. We already figured it out, but it's gonna take the people that hold the keys to the truth to say yes, that is exactly what it is. We already done said it, but we gotta get clarification from them. We don't really have to. We believe that we have to, but we really don't. I don't believe we have to because I already done figured it out. It's just a matter of you believing it and the whole world believing it, to get away from the doubt and skepticism of what this really is. But it is what it is, folks. That's the reason why we haven't found our children or our loved ones or our friends, because we will constantly believe that there isn't anything other than human crimes. Something much more than that, more powerful, more intelligent than we are. But like I said, it is what it is, so anyway, I have rambled like crazy, but everything I told you is coming from the deep thought of my mind. Okay, if it sounded like rambling, listen to the words. Don't worry about the fact that I'm still talking. Listen to what I'm saying. Therefore, it'll make you want to listen even more. It'll make you want to learn more. And I guarantee you, I got more coming. Okay? So, I'm going to end this video right now. And I want to thank you guys for listening to my channel. I want to thank you guys for listening to this video. If you got a comment on what I was talking about, please feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section below this video. And the world will be a better place. And I will be glad to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on what I just talked about. If you want to add something to it, feel free to do it. That's what I'm here for. Okay? I'm your friend. You're my friend. I love you guys. Okay? So let's make it happen, people. Let's get this thing done. Let's try to figure this out. We already figured it out. That's the thing, like I was trying to say. We already figured it out. But let's make sure that everybody knows that we figured it out. Let everybody realize that is reality. That is the truth. That's what I'm here for. That's what my channel's all about. The truth. I should have called it the truth. But insane disappearances is fine. Maybe I'll do that in the next 10, 15 years, maybe, if I'm still doing this. But hopefully I will be doing it. Hopefully I'll be coming to you guys, taking trips to where you live, to talk to you and talk about the stories that arise in your town about someone that disappeared. Maybe we can toss some ideas around. I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe I gotta wait till I get a little bit more popular, like maybe like 1,000 subscribers, and then I'll start going from these different places, getting on the plane to meet up with you guys, like you Camp Star 66. If I ever want to come to Australia and do a story on all of what you've experienced since you was a kid, hopefully one day I'll get a chance to do that, and for everybody else in whatever state has a mystery that I can put on my channel. Maybe one day I will be doing that too. So, but I know I won't be able to do it unless you guys help me out. You got to keep subscribing to my channel. You got to we got to realize that we are all connected in some kind of way. Okay, we all have our duties, or why as to why we're connected. So we're here to help each other out, to help everybody else out about what's going on with these people disappearing. So like I said, maybe I get an organization, started with this. We become one big old like conglomerate. So anyway, I'm rambling again. Okay, I am going to end this video. I will see you guys once again later. Heck, shoot, I may even put another one up before the night, so sometime early in the morning, because I'm off tomorrow too. So give you guys a double whammy, but separate. One video here, one video here. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thank you for listening. Keep your ears and your eyes tuned in to my new video. All right, peace out. Aloha, mahalo, and ahuiho. Peace out, brother. Shoots.